Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins Gate Zero. In the last episode, Rintaro went in search of Maho after she reported a mysterious stalker, following her from Akihabara Station. Rintaro managed to arrive at Maho's whereabouts only to discover that said mystery person was none other than Maho's colleague from the Brain Science Institute in Mitochondria by the name of Dr. Judy Reyes, who is I believe is an expert in psychophysiology, the inner workings of the mind, as opposed to the actual workings of the brain, which is the expertise of Maho Hiajo and Alexis Leskinen, who are both heavily working on the development of the Amadeus system. Although, like Leskinen, I don't particularly trust Reyes myself. Not really. After that, I suppose, long story short, Rintaro managed to return to the lab and caught up briefly with Mayuri. And speaking of catching up with people, we should probably get in contact with Ruka, because he had something important that he wanted to say before Moeka Kiryu showed up. So we should probably give Ruka a call, just in case.
Luka このやつ出ないな。
And Ruka isn't answering his phone. Probably means that we've missed our window of opportunity to speak with him. Oh well. I'd have to send him a Rhine. Probably should do that. I typed in my message. Sorry I forgot all about yesterday. And sent it, it seems. Yeah, I forgot all about yesterday. Let's see if Ruka responds. And then I waited a while for a response to come back. But there was no sign of him even reading the Rhine message. Was he busy with something? He probably has quite a bit of work over at the shrine, so for a moment I thought of going over to the shrine to see, but if he was busy, then I didn't want to bother him. He contacted me when he had time. Just when I was thinking about that, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs outside the lab. It didn't sound like Daru. Daru's steps were a lot heavier. Maybe it's Yuki?
どうぞ。
Or perhaps Moeka.
こんにちは。
Or maybe it's Ruka here in the flesh.
ルカ子。
It's quite a
よかっ
surprise.
た。岡部さん、ここにいてくれて。
And it seems that Ruka was intent on picking up where we left off as well. It was Rukiko, the boy I'd just been trying to get a hold of.
すまない。この前の件すっかり忘れてたんだ。それでさっき電話したんだが。
Indeed, you didn't answer your phone and you didn't text back.
本当だ。ごめんなさい。僕の方こそ気づかなくて。
It seems that Ruka was too busy trying to get to the lab to notice. He looked guilty, as if he'd done something wrong.
いや、別にいいよ。それより寒いだろ。入ってくれ。
はい。
We should probably get down to business as to why Ruka is here to begin with, let alone wanted to speak with Rintaro. But he hesitated, seemingly distracted by something behind him.
岡部さん、相談の件なんですけど。
Yeah, that certain matter you were about to discuss.
実は、その前に会ってもらいたい人がいて、連れてきたんですけど、いいですか？
Wait a minute. Someone we'd like to meet.
会ってもらいたい人？
That's certainly piqued my curiosity. Rukiko moved slightly to the side, and a girl appeared behind him.
はじめまして。
I'm getting a strange vibe from this woman. What? Impossible. The girl there was... But it can't be. Kurisu Makise died at the hands of Rintaro Okabe on July 28th.
よろしくお願いします。
She looks strikingly like Kurisu, but her tone of voice is... I don't know, there's something odd about the way she's speaking. And something about her, she doesn't seem to possess Kurisu's confident exterior.
どうぞ。
Of course, yeah, if Rintaro didn't know any better, he would say that Kurisu Makise is miraculously alive and well, mysteriously reincarnated somehow. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say the exact same thing. But something about this girl's posture just doesn't say Kurisu Makise. Although Rintaro is currently in shock as to this girl's sudden appearance, who something tells me that she is the recent guest that showed up at Yanabeashi's shrine.
ありがとうございます。
I offered her a cup of tea as I pulled out a plastic bottle. Oh, sorry, let me read that again. I offered her a cup of tea I poured out of a plastic bottle, and she thanked me in a voice that was almost impossible to hear. For my part, it was all I could do to keep the hand holding the cup from trembling. I took another good look at the girl sitting across from me. Indeed, she may have her hair and her eyes, but this woman is not Kurisu Makise, and she is not Ruka Shibara either. The girl in front of me looked just like Kurisu Makise. It seems, yeah, she seems really quiet. Her brown hair, her slightly slanted eyes, her unconcerned expression. That hair is red. I know Kurisu's hair was chestnut brown in Steins Gate, but her hair was red in the anime and Steins Gate. That is red hair. I don't care what anyone says. That hair is red. I know there are people who are colorblind, and I've been said to somewhat be colorblind, but that hair is that is not brown. That is a shade of red. Right now, there was no sign of her strong-willed nature, but other than that, they were identical. When I'd first seen her, my heart felt like it was going to stop. But on closer inspection, some parts of her were different. She may have an aloof expression on her face, but something about her eyes just, again, the personality seems different. And, of course, that would be the first thing that comes to your notice, Rintaro Okabe. Was she about our age? If I'm right, and I'm just going to go take a wild stab in the dark and say that this mystery woman is in fact our missing Kaguri Shina. For those of you who actually saw the photograph with the 10-year-old Kaguri and the much older Mayuri Shina from 2036. And given that 12 years has passed since then, she would be 22 years of age. She looked older than Rukiko. That's because she is. I knew Rukiko had a sister. Could this be her? No, definitely not. She had a quiet air about her that seemed similar to Rukiko, somehow. But I thought I remembered hearing that Rukiko's sister was actually quite cheerful, not to mention somewhat abusive towards her younger brother.
Okabe-san?
And yet, for reasons we still don't understand, Kaguri Shina is a spitting doppelganger of Kurisu Makise.
いや、それでルカ子は
Yeah, there is a very important question that we need to ask.
ルカ子？
ああ、失礼。俺はそう呼んでるんです。その女の子みたいだから。
Yeah, that's I'm sure that's not embarrassing to Ruka in the slightest. I just realized it was actually a pretty rude nickname, to be honest. But it was a habit now, and there was no changing it.
そうなんですね。
Kaguri's expression has changed. Her expression softened just a little. She really did look like her. Again, no. The expression on her face is, I don't think Kurisu would ever make it that expression. I took a shallow breath and forced myself to relax.
で、ルカ子はこの人は
Yeah, not to mention the fact that actually on closer inspection her facial features are actually somewhat different from Kurisu's.
その前に話したことがありましたよね。お父さんのお客さんが泊まってるって。
Yeah, I kind of put that together.
ああ、聞いたけど、それじゃもしかして彼女が
はい。
As I suspected, that was a surprise.
ルカ子の父親の知り合いというから、てっきりもっと年配の人かと思っていた。
Well, actually, come to think of it, Ruka never exactly said that the latest guest to the shrine was actually a friend of his father's.
違うんです。正確に言うと、お父さんの知人が連れてこられた方で。
Apparently an acquaintance of Ruka's dad brought her. I wonder who that was. So this wasn't the person who was talking about Harumi. That made me feel a little better.
それで相談というのはこの人についてなんですけど。
その前に名前を教えてもらってもいいかな。いつまでもこの人じゃ話しにくいだろ。
Wait. Her face clouded. Did I say something wrong? Maybe not necessarily wrong, but something does feel off here.
実は相談というのはそのことなんです。 この人が誰なのかを知るにはどうしたらいいでしょうか。
Allow me to process for a second. You're telling me she doesn't know her own name. Took a moment before I understood what he said.
待ってくれルカ子、それはどういう。
記憶喪失なんだそうです。
Well, that's certainly another spanner in the works.
記憶喪失。
So it turns out that Kaguri has amnesia. So she doesn't know that her name is Kaguri, even because of course the last name Shina was given to her by her adoptive mother Mayuri. And of course Rintaro hasn't yet jumped to this conclusion, seeing as how he only really saw briefly the photograph of Kaguri and Mayuri.
はい。
So somewhere between in the interval of 12 years, Kaguri Shina lost her memory.
それじゃあ名前も。
I would certainly say so. That sounds sadly like the what happened to the Alpha World Line Suzuha when she traveled back in time in a faulty time machine thanks to a rainstorm that ultimately triggered an effect of time travel that essentially robbed her of her memory for from 1975 to the year 2000.
どこの誰かも。
はい。
And because of her amnesia, that is why Ruka brought her here to begin
どうし
with.
て。
And of course, it goes without saying that Ruka Urushibara wouldn't know the name Kaguri Shina because we've never told him.
わかりません。
As for why Kaguri has amnesia, well, we don't know, and neither does she. Of course not. If she knew, she wouldn't have amnesia.
でもどうして俺に。
岡部さんなら記憶を取り戻すいい方法を知っているんじゃないかと思って。
We're not exactly, well, we may be recipients of hypnotherapy ourselves, but A, we're not practitioners of hypnotherapy, and B, the hypnotherapy sessions were a means to try and rid Rintaro of the traumatic memories of Kurisu Makise's death. To cut a long story short, it didn't work. It did not work.
ほら、岡部さん、よく人間の脳とか記憶とかすごく難しい話をたくさんしてたから。
And then there's all the neuroscience stuff that Rintaro knows thanks to Kurisu Makise.
何でもいいんです。私が自分のことを取り戻せる方法があれば。
Fortunately, not only is that means of memory retrieval inexplicably complicated, but because we don't actually have Kaguri's memories prior to her amnesia, that technology is essentially useless anyway.
待ってくれ。確かにそういう話はしていたが、それはただ興味があるだけで、専門的なことは何も。
And as I just said 5 seconds ago, we couldn't help you even if we did know anything about neuroscience. I knew how the brain worked and how it was laid out, layman's knowledge, sure, and I knew what amnesia was. But bringing back someone's memories was a different matter altogether. Even the latest medical technology would be useless. Unless, of course, you had your memories stored on a system like Amadeus, which Kaguri does not.
そうですか。
So in other words, we have no way of alleviating Kaguri's amnesia for the time being. The girl was visibly disappointed.
だったら何か身元を調べることはできないでしょうか。カナさん、本当に辛そうで。
Wait a minute. Kana?
カナさん？
Well, in all fairness, I suppose you needed a temporary placeholder name for Kaguri until she actually remembers who she really is. And on top of that, if she does regain her memory, does that mean that she will regain... Well, I know she was a child when she became a war orphan, but would she essentially regain the memories of the events prior to being adopted by Mayuri? Or the next point that I was about to make, adventurers, was would she have memories of the rather strange, bizarre event in 1998 where she claimed to hear a voice, pointed a semi-automatic pistol at Suzuha's forehead, and then jumped out of the time machine? In which case she could probably, if we can get her memories back, we will be able to learn just what she's been up to these past 12 years.
仮の名前だからカナとルカさんのお父さんは名前がないと不便だからって。
And apparently Kana is Japanese for temporary, although I don't think that that's the case.
ずいぶん安直だな。
Or maybe it does. Maybe Kana does mean temporary in Japanese. Who knows? I don't know because I've never really studied the Japanese language. Was that okay? It seems rather bland and generic when you really think about it.
いつまでも名乗る名前でないのだからそれくらいの方がいいと。
Okay. I couldn't tell if that was deep or not.
岡部さん、なんとかならないでしょうか。せめて名前だけでもわかれば。
Well, that's the thing. If Suzuha was here, then I would certainly assume that she would immediately recognize Kaguri Shina at the drop of a hat.
なんとか力になってはやりたいが、やっぱり更新所なんかに頼んだ方がいいんじゃないのか？
Well, we do have Moeka Kiryu on our payroll for the moment, but I doubt she would actually be able to find any more useful information that we don't already have at the moment. And also, speaking of which, Moeka mentioned that there was another group of people outside of Japan who was looking for Kaguri Shina. And if those people put two and two together, yeah, we should keep this low profile.
探偵さんみたいなものですか？
More like a hyperactive texting magazine writer or an article writer.
でもそれだって何か手がかりのようなものがないと厳しいだろう。
Indeed, even with all the power of Amadeus Kurisu at our disposal, even she couldn't really help out too
財
much.
布とかカバンとか持ってなかったのか？
It seems that it goes without saying that Kaguri, having come from 2036, wouldn't technically have any sort of ID on her person.
そういったものは何も。
Because technically speaking, Kaguri Shina hasn't yet been born.
何も？別に大したものじゃなくてもいい。一つくらいありそうなものだけど。
Unfortunately, she doesn't, Rintaro.
一つだけ ただこれが手がかりになるのかどうかは。
But apparently she does have something. She slowly took out a handkerchief, as if it was something that was very important to her. Whatever was inside must have been the one thing she was carrying.
見せてもらっても。
Maybe a keepsake or a memento or something.
はい。
Apparently she's willing to show Rintaro this.
あれ、もしかしてお客さんかな。
And surprisingly enough, Mayuri is back. Almost the exact same time Kana opened the handkerchief, I heard Mayuri's soft voice from the hall. Evidently she was back from shopping. And Suzuha is with her. Yeah, that was a rare combination. Had they run into each other on the way?
あ、まゆりちゃん。ああ、ルカくん。
Yeah.
ルカ兄さん、そちらの人は？
Yeah, about that, Suzuha.
うちに泊まっているお客さんで。
Kana bowed her head a little. And apparently Mayuri is taken aback by Kana's appearance. Well, let me say that again. For some reason, Mayuri gave a happy little sigh as she looked at the handkerchief in Kana's hands.
それ、ウーパですよね。
No, I think that's a handkerchief. Unless it's an Oopa wrapped in a handkerchief. Inside of the white handkerchief was a faded Oopa keychain.
好きなんですか？マユシーもね、ウーパのこと大好きなのです。
Something tells me that we've seen this Oopa, this particular Oopa before. But Mayuri really loves Oopas, so...
もしかして手がかりというのはそれか？
It was an old Oopa keychain. Was that really a clue?
でも、このウーパ、いつ頃のものかな。ずいぶん古いみたいだけど。
It certainly seems that way, and I don't think Oopas have been around for as long as this Oopa seems to be. Unless one puts two and two together and says that that Oopa must actually be from the future and has been with Kagari, or Kana, as we should probably call her for the moment. These past 12 years, in which case it's no wonder that Oopa is pretty old. It really did, come to think of it. Oopa was a character from the Rainet Kakeru anime. Yes, we know that. Oopa products had only been around for a few years now. But the one I was looking at was very old. I think we can explain that. In fact, I think I've just explained that.
もともとは緑色だったんじゃないかな。だってこれ、森の妖精さんバージョンだもん。
Indeed, I actually recall a memory of Rintaro purchasing a forest fairy Oopa
森の
for
妖精
Mayuri.
この前やってた映画に出てきたんだ。あ、ほら、マユシーも持ってるんだけど。 のデザインがちょっとだけ違うの。
Basically, if I'm remembering Mayuri correctly, the forest fairy Upa is like some kind of super Upa. Basically. I couldn't see any difference at all, aside from the fact that it has a wreath around its head and it has wings.
このキーホルダーね、なかなか売ってなくてずーっと探してたんだ。そしたらこの前ルカ君が見つけて買ってきてくれたの。
Wait a minute. I was just realized that I time leaped from a slightly different set of events. So instead of Rintaro buying Mayuri the forest fairy Upa, it seems that Ruka did it instead.
たまたまお店を覗いたら売ってたから。
Yeah, I gotta keep track of all these different timelines or world lines or whatever.
この前の映画のグッズなら発売してすぐのはずだ。こんなに古くは。
Only then did I realize how pale Kana's face was. It seems that something is finally coming back to her.
カナさん、
具合が悪いのか？
大丈夫。
And yet... Kana tried to stand up and almost fell forward. Rukiko quickly grabbed her.
そうだ。何か冷たいものを。
I went to get a bottle of water out of the fridge when I noticed that Suzuha was staring at Kana in shock. Looks like she's finally realized. Although I'm surprised she didn't realize at first, given Kana's, or rather Kaguri's appearance, since we can now drop the charade.
そう。
It is, I would actually say that it is very much possible.
Huh?
The evidence of your own senses is not mistaken. Strangely, Kana wasn't the only one who was shaking a little. Suzuha was too, but for a very different reason.
そのウーパー。
Because she knows the significance of the Upa.
どうしたんだ、鈴葉？
私は知ってる。そのウーパー、それ。
Of course, Ruka and Mayuri would have no idea what Suzuha is talking about, but we certainly do.
おい、鈴葉。
Well, I should really include Rintaro, since he wasn't there when Kaguri was put in the time machine by future Mayuri. Kana staggered a few steps towards Suzuha, and then a few steps more. It couldn't be. No, there was just no way. But...
もしかしてお前。
Seems that after 12 years, the two finally meet again. Ladies and gentlemen, I can now formally introduce to you once again Kaguri Shina. Of course, Rintaro is surprised.
シーナ・カガリなのか。
It seems she knows that name. Kana's eyes went wide. And she slowly collapsed to the floor. Achievement unlocked, a stray sheep. Now we move on to the next chapter, the orbital eclipse. Looks like Kaguri is going to have some time to recover, though she's now conscious
どう
again.
だ少しは落ち着いたか
That must have been quite a bit of a shock to see Suzuha Mane again after so many years.
おかげさまで。
Although it'd be even more surprising for Kaguri to see that Suzuha hasn't aged these past 12 years. Kana had passed out after hearing the name Kaguri Shina from Suzuha, but with help from Rukiko and the girls, she woke up 10 minutes later. But she still didn't look very good. Still struggling with amnesia, it seems, or recovery from amnesia.
ルカ子それにマユリすまないが何か冷たいものを買ってきてくれないか
Yeah, Suzuha and I need to sort things out ourselves.
それから額に貼る冷却シートのようなものもあると嬉しい
That would be incredibly useful. I felt bad for Rukiko, but I probably didn't want either of them hearing what we were about to discuss.
わかった。行こう、ルカくん。
It seems Mayuri understands Rintaro better than Ruka.
うん。
Though Ruka seems to finally get the message. Rukiko seemed interested in hearing about what was going on, but still he went along with Mayuri. What happened next was the problem.
カナさん
かがり、お前、今までどこで何をしていた？
Yeah, Suzuha, we probably should have explained the fact that she has amnesia. She still has amnesia, by the way. Suzuha opened her mouth the second Mayuri and Rukiko left. Her words were as sharp as a knife blade, and Kana looked terrified.
一体どういうつもりであの時？
待て鈴葉彼女は記憶を失ってる
Yeah.
なんだって？
It's the unfortunate truth, I'm afraid. I explained what brought Kana here, and we just got a message on Rhine, so should probably It's from Ferris, it seems. I'm just about to reveal an important secret to you, Nia Katamoji. Now we've got three responses. We could give the Kurisu but I refuse, which probably would be fitting, but not in this case. And we have a what appears to be a Daru, would definitely be a Daru sort of emoji there, and a blushing Upra, it seems. We'll go with this one just because it's hilarious. Secrets are always exciting. It looks like we're yeah, probably should have just gone with the but I refuse, because looks like we're jumping back into Ho and Kiyoma mode. But what is the secret? Apparently Daru and Yuki finally went on a date, which is surprising. And it seems like Rintaro is just ignoring her. Again. Rintaro still is not convinced, and Ferris is upset. But now back to Kaguri. our current
記
dilemma.
憶喪失。それじゃどこで何をしていたかも。
Indeed. In other words, he doesn't even know how she even got to Yanabayashi Shrine.
ああ。でもその前に確かめなければならないことがある。
Something that could be very important. Whether or not she really was Kaguri Shina.
カナさん。
はい。
Now, it's understandable that she would respond to the name Kana, given
さっきしていた話は覚えてるか？
はい。
oh, she's been following the conversation thus far.
どうする？続きはもう少し回復してからにするか？
But if I wonder if she truly understands the implications or the significance
いえ、
of that
大丈夫です。
conversation. But she seems willing to continue. She was clutching her upa so hard that her fingertips had gone white. There was a light in her eyes as she looked up at Suzuha.
じゃあさっきの話を続けよう。鈴葉、お前が彼女をかがりだというその根拠は何だ？
Well, of course, the obvious proof would be the photograph.
そのウーパだよ。それはかがりが肌身離さず持ってたものなんだ。ママにもらったんだって。お守りだってずっと大事にしてた。
And of course, the Upa keepsake. It's probably a good idea to show Kaguri the photograph of her and Mayuri in 2036. Kana slowly opened her hand. The tiny old Upa was staring up at us with that usual silly look on its face. A present from her mother, future Mayuri. Indeed.
カナさんはそのウーパだけが自分が持っていたものだって言っていたが、
The only thing she had with her. The only possession.
記憶をなくして倒れていた私がただ一つ手にしていたのがこのキーホルダーだったそうです。
We have two more pressing questions. When did she have her amnesia, and how did she have her
倒れ
amnesia?
ていた？
はい。
どのあたりで倒れていたんだ？
That is another very good question.
千葉の参道です。県境あたりの。
Lost in unfamiliar
近くのお寺
territory.
の住職さんが偶然通りかかって見つけてもらったそうで、
So she was found by a priest and taken to
その後
Yanabayashi.
しばらくはその方のお寺でお世話になっていたんです。ですがお寺は修行の場でもあるので長く女性を置いておくこともできないと。
それでルカ子の家にというわけか。
That would be the logical conclusion, given what
Hi.
just happened.
その住職さんルカ君のことを女の子だって思っていて、
Yeah, that's nobody can help that.
それで年の近い女の子のいる家なら私にとってもいいだろうって。
And then you discovered that Ruka was a guy.
盲点だった。まさかこんな近くにいたなんて。
Well, there was actually no way you could have known. The guest that Rukiko had mentioned a few days ago was probably that priest. Which means that Kaguri Shina had been there the entire time. We've been searching blindly for her without any idea whatsoever. And she'd been there the whole time. As I said, how were we to know that she was there? If only I'd taken Rukiko's call, we wouldn't have had to go through all this. Well, it wasn't entirely our fault.
それでカナさん、 君はかがりという名を聞いて何か思い出すことはないか？
正直を言うとよくわかりません。ただすごく懐かしい感じがします。
So she knows the name, and yet she feels somewhat disconnected from it.
それに
Somehow. Kana's words cut off as she looked at Suzuha.
その先ほどの方、
Are you talking about Suzuha? Or perhaps
まゆ姉さんのこと？
Mayuri?
姉さん？
あの子は椎名真由里というんだ。
まゆりさん、あの方を見たとき、なぜだかすごく温かい気持ちになりました。
It seems that unconsciously Kaguri remembers Mayuri Shina from 2036, even though the Mayuri Shina of 2010 is somewhat different. Even if she was Kaguri Shina, she would have only known Mayuri after she'd grown up. But her appearance can't have changed that much, which meant that it would make sense that seeing her would stir some feelings within Kaguri.
ねえ、それもう一度見せてもらってもいい？
And Suzuha wants a closer look at the Upa.
はい。
Kaguri handed the old Upa over to Suzuha, not Kana. That
やっ
was
ぱりこれかがりが持ってたものだよ。
that would be handing it to herself, but she's handing it to Suzuha. That was a bit of a slip up on the part of the translation. But Suzuha is convinced.
では私はその椎名かがりという名前だったんでしょうか？
Well, we would confirm for sure if we saw the photograph again.
そうだな。まだ確証があるわけじゃないが、そう考えるのが妥当だと思う。
We have a photograph, and yet I have absolutely no way to, I actually have no way to access this photograph, which is
いや、
kind of
間
annoying.
違いない。彼女はかがりだ。そのキーホルダーが何よりの証拠だよ。なゆ姉さんがかがりにあげたものなんだから。
It'd also spare any more confusion if you just showed us the photograph again, Suzuha.
でもよりによって記憶喪失だなんて。
I really wish we knew the answer to that question. The keychain probably did belong to Kaguri, but she also could have been given it by Kaguri, or she could have picked it up off the ground. Of course, Suzuha said that the keychain was very important to Kaguri, given that it was a memento of Mayuri. It was unlikely she'd drop it or give it to somebody else, which meant, well, if we had the photograph, we would know for certain. And then the door opened, and Mayuri poked her head through to see what was going on. And they're back. And that was the most deflating, depressing doo-doo-doo I've ever heard from Mayuri, ever.
大丈夫ですか？
It depends on your
悪かった
notion of
な。
okay.
わざわざ。
But thank you for getting those supplies. The drinks and the cooling sheets were taken out of their plastic bags and put on the desk. It's good to know.
それでその
Rukugo waited a moment for Kaguri to take a sip of the drinks he'd brought, then spoke with a quavering
Kana-sanは
voice.
そのあまねさんの知り合いのかがりさんという方だったんでしょうか？
It seems that Ruka's put it together.
そうだな。そう考えるのが妥当だと思う。
Probably. I would say that's definitely the case.
そうですか。よかったです。 名前だけでも分かって。
No, but we're still no closer to knowing the truth, and that's far more important.
ルカ君。
Kana, that is to say Kaguri, smiled gently when she saw how relieved Ruka was.
でもそれならあまねさんはかがりさんの本当のお家を知っているんでしょうか。
Going to have to explain the time, yeah, because in this world line we never really explained the the world lines to Ruka. We're going to have to do that.
いや、それは。
鈴葉はかがりさんと子供の頃ご近所だったそうだ。でも12年前に引っ越してしまって、それからの行方がわからなかったらしい。そうだな。
I wonder if Ruka will buy that excuse. Not to mention, I wonder how Kaguri will react.
そうなんだ。それで最近急に懐かしくなっておかりんおじさんに相談してたんだよ。
そういうわけだ。だから鈴葉にもかがりさんの家族のことやどこに住んでいたのかはわからないらしい。
Well, technically that's not actually a lie, because we actually don't know Kaguri's actual parents or where she was born and raised,
そうな
so
んですか。
it's a half-truth at best. The rest of it is a lie, of course. That was the only answer I could come up with, and by answer I mean excuse. If we told Kaguri that she was a time traveler from the year 2036 who'd come here 12 years ago, it would only confuse her. I think that would have confused Ruka more than Kaguri. I think Kaguri might actually remember something if we actually told her the truth. But that's to say nothing of Mayuri, who is also in the room with us. But I believe this is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Steins Gate 0. So when we return, adventurers, we'll continue this little conversation and see if we can't get any more answers or memories from Kaguri Shina at this particular juncture. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.